Hello everyone! You may have been wondering where I've been for a couple of months because I haven't been doing any update videos. Well, this is what I've been doing. There we go. Da-da-da. Yeah, she's all finished. So, when would the last update been? September, probably? I was just finishing off the row of pages. And then I just got into a finishing frenzy on this, and I've just focused almost entirely on getting her finished. So, Gamer Nouveau is complete. She's been washed, she's been pressed, she's been allowed to dry totally, and she needs to dry, well, needs to be stretched and framed now at some point in the new year. But let's zoom in on a few of the details. So the banner was possibly the most confetti heavy part of this, right at the top there. And my favourite part to stitch was her hair. It's lovely how all the colours, the reds just flowed around and was so straightforward to stitch. It was just so nice. You could feel the texture just developing as it stitched up. So here's Sonic the Hedgehog. Those gold bits were probably worse than the banner actually, but there's a lot more blocks in there to work alongside with them, so it was easier to get through. But they'll stick in my memory for a long time. And then obviously there's little guys, Link and Mega Man. And so, yeah, Link's really cute. I like him. Tetris blocks making up the background portion along with the Space Invaders. Because who doesn't remember playing those games? Although some of you are probably going to be too young to even know what I'm talking about. Retro, that's where it is. Play them, they're fun. So she's sitting there with a bag of chips, crisps here in the UK. A Nintendo Game Boy down by her feet. That keyboard. The reason it looks so good, it's because of all the changing around of colours in there. There's not a huge amount of colours in there, but it's just like a bit here, a bit there. Some blocks, not blocks. That took a while. Obviously for me the most painful bit is all that grey. I don't do well with blocks. I really had to just headphones in, put some Flosstube on. Luckily there's been lots of Stitch with Me videos recently, so yeah, all the time you were talking and stitching, I was stitching grey. Little toadstools there. How cute are they? I love that red one, especially the colours work so well on it. So, details. The piece is going out of focus. Get back into her face. There we go. Gamer Nouveau from Gecko Rouge. That's they don't have an Etsy store, but there's also the website at geckorouge.co.uk. And she is only available as a kit. I get asked this a lot. she is only a kit. You cannot get her pattern only. And she is expensive, but then as you can see, she's a big girl. And it would be difficult to get her kitted up for that price. So there we go. Let me show you, I've got another Gecko Rouge kit here. This is going to glare a bit because of the plastic. So this is another one I've got. It's called Storytime. The artist Sazamu. I like that. Little girl reading. I remember doing that a lot when I was younger. So the kit is, you get a pattern booklet. You get all the threads pre-sorted onto a card. It's a continuous length of thread, so you can just cut it to the size that you want it. What I did was I took them off the card because I don't like using those cards, and I put mine into floss away bags and just hang them on a ring. So it's just working with those, and then put them onto my Paco thread organiser, just one length of thread at a time. It's just how I prefer to work with them. So you get all your threads, you get a needle in there, everything is nicely packaged up, and turn around for the kit is pretty quick. They'll get that out to you, or shipped out to you. And yeah, you see I've got another one, so I'm happy to do another. That one is on 18 count Ada. This is on 25 count Magic Guide. Mine's been washed out now. And I did this 1/1 full crosses. So the artwork is by Medusa Doll Maker. And I started her in, I think it was probably April or May 2015. It's probably going to be May because I got her for my birthday. And then obviously I've had lots of time where I haven't been stitching on her, but then when I did focus on her, she finished up pretty quickly. So 2.5 years altogether, but less than that actual stitching time. The pages of the patterns are probably a bit smaller, less pattern on the page than something like Heaven and Earth Designs. So pages probably quicker because there wasn't so many stitches on them. I was getting each page done probably just over 10 days, and stitching days that is. And when I say days, they vary in length of time, so I have a few hours in the evening when I get home from work that I can stitch in. At the weekend, which is another stitchy day, I can spend a lot more time on it. So when I say 10 days, if there's 2 lots of weekends in that, I've had a lot more stitching time in it. So how I got started with her was my husband sent me a link to a picture that he'd seen on Twitter. A person who posted it was someone that we knew that worked in computer games, and she'd posted the picture saying, "Wasn't this amazing? This is just so female gamers. Everyone would know the references." And he said, "Oh, this would be really good as a cross stitch, wouldn't it?" And coincidentally, I think about that time, someone else that I knew had just started stitching it. So as soon as I saw that it was a cross stitch, then I pointed out that as he'd said that it would be good as a cross stitch, then I couldn't not have it as a cross stitch. It was fate, surely. So I ended up getting it as a birthday present that year, and obviously didn't rest from pestering until I got it started. So that's the story of Gamer. I'm going to get her framed. It'll be in the new year now. once I can get to the framer that I use. He does a lot of framing for artists, so he's really good and very reasonably priced, which is what you want on something as big as this. So she'll be going away for a little while, and I'll be heading off and stitching some other things. So if I can tear myself away from her. I can't believe she's finished. I kind of got that feeling. The end, when you get to the end of these pieces, it's just such mixed feelings, because yeah, you're happy you're nearly finished because finished, but at the same time you feel a bit torn inside because you've devoted so much attention and so much time into doing every single tiny little cross that you don't know what you're going to do without her. You kind of build up a bond with them almost. So I've had a couple of days where I've not really stitched, but I'm keen to get back to it now. I've got some plans for 2018, and I'm hoping to get a update in before then, might be just before the new year. Just what my plans are for the new year and what my next focus piece will be. And hopefully I'll be doing a couple more Stitch With Me videos soon as well. Obviously, she's not going to be in any of those anymore, but I'm sure we'll find something that we'll all like. So, once again, if you want to get your own kit of the Gamer, and there are a few sisters for her being stitched at the moment, then Gecko Rouge is the place to buy. And if you are stitching her, I hope you have as much fun working on her as I did. So that's probably it for, well, that's it for now. I'll be back with a bit more of an update on other bits that I have done. I have been doing some other bits, and what I'm going to be doing in 2018. So if you like my videos, then feel free to subscribe to them, and I'm sure we'll have a lot more fun next year. See you soon. Bye.